Hello, happiness abounders, and welcome back. Today we are wrapping up our theme week all about intellectual self-care, and that means that we are talking about trying new things. Now, we've spoken up to date about having a mindset of growth and learning. We've spoken about tracking and reporting on that growth and those learnings so that we can see the positive momentum and maintain it. We've learned about meditating to focus the mind and finding a way that fits for you. And yesterday I spoke all about crafting a positive mindset in some negative situations and shared 2 quick tips to do a quick mindset turnaround. Today I want to talk about learning something new because although I am a big fan of consistency, for us to feel like we're progressing, we have to be pushing ourselves to new levels, which means trying new things. Which if we can do that and we're not stagnant, it can be a form of intellectual self-care. So, intellectual self-care, trying and learning new things. How does that really play together? It's kind of like when we were at school for such a long period of time and then you took a little bit off and then you're like, man, I just really miss being kind of pushed. I miss learning. Now, I'm not saying that you miss school per se, but everybody I know, whether they graduated high school and took a little bit of time off or they graduated college and then have taken some time, give it about a year and a half, 2 years, and they start to be talking about or begin talking about going back to school or taking an online course or doing something new. It's because we can't go too long without having a little bit of that novelty come back into our lives. We can't go too long without a little bit of that challenge. So it's really interesting because there's this stark contrast between our brain's want for stability and comfort, which means not doing anything new, and having major imposter syndrome and worrying about looking like a beginner, which is what we spoke about in the first episode of this week, which is 366. So our brain wants us to be safe, so we really have to push ourselves to try something new. The other side of this is our brain craves something new. Our brain wants something new to really engage it and push it. Because if we just stay where we're at, we're very stagnant. So it's this combating and competing brain mindset. And it really puts us in a spot where we don't want to do something new because we don't want to be seen as a beginner, but then we want to do something new because we're really feeling it in our bones that we need to do something different. So how do you get between those two and say, yes, I want to get in a mindset of learning and growth, and I want to try something new, and I just really want to be comfortable with the discomfort? Well, the only way to do that is to start. The only way to do that is to try something new. Because as a form of intellectual self-care, we need that something new to get us to those next levels. So then the question becomes, when's the last time you've tried something new? And did you talk yourself out of it, or did you go do something new and the whole time you were so worried about being a beginner that you never went again? This is where my stickler for consistency comes in, right? Yes, we need to do new things, keep our lives novel, if you will. But try it for an extended period of time. Try something new until you feel comfortable in it, to feel capable and qualified to do it. And then try something else new. And just add to that library, that inventory of new things you've tried that now you know well. Or new things you've tried that you gave a fair shot and you don't like it anymore, and now you know that. And you've learned and you've grown from understanding what you do and you don't like. You've learned and you've grown to understanding how you can push yourself in different directions with new things. So again, when is the last time you tried something new? Now I want to share a really fun story of this because I love this question. Not because I thought of it myself or anything like that, but I actually had a job interview one time for the job I have now. And in the interview, the CMO asked me, when's the last time you tried something new? And I had just started this podcast. And I was like, actually, I just started a podcast, and I shared the story, which some of you may be familiar with, of how I really was hesitant to start. I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to be seen as a beginner, and it felt really complicated and overwhelming, and I found ways to push through that, and then I started doing interviews, and I found that that didn't work for me, and that was a new thing, right? And that didn't quite work for me, and the editing took too long, and I got burned out. And then I thought maybe I should just be talking as well as doing an interview and doing 2 episodes a month, and that didn't really work out because every hit had to be a home run. And so I slowly, through trying new and different things that matched towards my goal of wanting a podcast, I found that doing it every weekday for a few minutes every day with just me was the way I could do it consistently and continue to push myself to these new levels. So I shared that story in this job interview. And as funny as it is, yes, there's some experience and things that come into play for all of these pieces, but I very, very much feel that that answer to that question is what got me the job. Because it showed that I was pushing myself and progressing in my personal life. It showed that I had a goal and that I was willing to try new and different things to make it happen instead of giving up. It showed that I was able to get past thinking like, I'm a beginner, I don't know what I'm doing, to really push through and keep on taking care of myself intellectually, which is the kind of thing you want from somebody in a job and in a role that's leading teams. You want somebody who's thinking of new ways to do stuff, that's innovative, fighting towards goals, and willing to try something new. So I see this form of trying something new, learning something new, as a form of intellectual self-care that touches many facets of our lives. Trying and learning something new as a way of teaching your kids, or connecting with your kids, playing with your kids. Trying or learning something new in the workplace, helping progress your professional career. Trying something new with your partner and seeing how that works and plays out. And giving it time. Giving it an amount of time of seeing what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like, and really pushing and progressing for yourself in any area of your life. But always trying something new. So I'm going to leave you with that today. It's a weekend challenge. Consider when's the last time you did something new, and consider trying something else new. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you feel like this episode resonated with you. Let me know if you try something new and you consider it a form of self-care or not. I think for so many of us, it's like, yeah, I should try something new. Or yeah, I just tried this, but we don't think of it as a form of self-care. And I think if we are able to think of it as a form of self-care, then we can focus on it and prioritize it a little bit more because it feels a little more justified. I never have time to try something new. Well, you can try something new for those few minutes a day and justify it as taking care of yourself intellectually. And that can make a big difference. So like I said, leaving you with that today, accept the challenge, try something new, or consider when's the last time you tried something new. And if it's been a minute, try something new. So that said, have a wonderful day. And if you would like to try something new this weekend, go to happinessabound.com, click on courses, and I have a few online courses that you can purchase and learn and try something new from. So that said, have a wonderful day, and remember, you are capable of happiness abound.